Number 1.
Yeah, I'll bet you've heard the Carolina Panthers signed their former quarterback this afternoon.
Carolina is celebrating Cam's return by tweeting out this photo of owner Dave Tepper with Cam saying, "Together again."
Now, this announcement comes as starting Panthers quarterback Sam Darnold is out for 4 to 6 weeks because of a shoulder injury. And we do have team coverage on this big move. WFMY News 2's Jalen Gilkey spoke with a former player and fans gauging their reaction to the news.
And Amanda Ferguson is explaining what this means for the Panthers roster. Amanda, we're going to go ahead and start with you. The Panthers have made a lot of moves in the last several days.
Lauren, the Carolina Panthers have found themselves in some trouble this season, not winning ball games lately and losing players to injuries. They've made 13 trades this season to try to help them win, and now signing quarterback Cam Newton once again. Now, this comes after starting quarterback Sam Darnold's shoulder injury. He's sidelined for at least 4 weeks. He's not only hurt, but he's been struggling, and the Panthers think the solution is to bring back Cam, the #1 draft pick in 2011, who spent almost a decade with the franchise, led the Panthers to a Super Bowl 6 seasons ago. He had his struggles too, but now he's healthy and walking into an offense with some familiar weapons. Matt RHULE tells us how this reunion came about.
On the phone, and I called Cam on Monday night, asked him if he'd have any interest in coming back to the Carolina Panthers. He emphatically said yes, so he and I had a good conversation. We decided to let his representatives and Scott and our people here start to, work out a deal. Cam needs to get here and he needs to learn the offense, get settled in, learn our verbiage, and we need to see where he's at physically. So I won't have many hypotheticals. I won't have many long range. This is what I think it'll be. I haven't even had a chance to see Cam yet, but our conversation the other night was good, and look forward to getting him here.
RHULE says Cam is in the building today working on his physical. If all goes well, he could be a part of walkthroughs tomorrow, but backup quarterback PJ Walker will get the start this week against the Cardinals.
All right, Newton has been a free agent since his release from the Patriots just before this season. Now, since then, hopeful fans have been chatting online about the possibility of Cam's return to Carolina.
And now those hopes are coming true.
WFMY News 2's Jalen Gilkey joins us live. Jalen, you spoke to a former player. What did he have to say about this signing?
Man, like you said, Lauren, I spoke with Ricky PROEHL, and he was all over it. But what a wild day it has been to be a Carolina Panthers fan. Many Panthers fans from across the country have been calling for Cam Newton's return ever since the Panthers first released QB1 in March of 2020. With the news breaking today that the Panthers have signed Cam to come back home, I spoke with fans from around the Greensboro area about how they feel about this deal, and one you just might recognize.
Unbelievable, awesome. Just so excited for him. A couple of days ago, a week ago, when Arnold was hurt and they were just scrambling, I just said, man, they should bring Cam back. Knowing Cam personally, as a player and a person, I mean, what I think he can bring to the table, having another chance, another opportunity, obviously this is all he can ask for.
By now you know the story. Newton was released by the Patriots just days before the 2021 season began, and now it's week 10 and he's back where it all started. And all the people I talked to today in Greensboro, they couldn't have been more excited that Superman is back.
Wow.
Good. I think it's going to be good for the team because they need some stability.
I'm excited. I'm not necessarily a 100% Cam fan. However, I do believe that he cares about the city, he cares about the state, he cares about his team, and he has passion.
Oh man, I'm ecstatic. I think he shouldn't have never left. You know what I'm saying? I think they did him dirty from the beginning. They should have signed him and gave him the contract that he was looking for. Cam's a great ball player. He's going to go down as one of the greatest probably, you know what I'm saying? I think this opportunity is going to be great for him. Carolina needs him back.
And like Amanda told you, according to Coach Matt RHULE, PJ Walker will start Sunday at Arizona, but it's a great chance that Cam will be the starter by week 11 against the Washington football team and Panthers former head coach Ron Rivera.
Well, you definitely don't want to miss your chance to watch Superman play.
Yep, we are giving away 2 tickets on 2, your chance to win tickets to see the Panthers play.
Our second winner is Gladys Adams from Burlington. Congrats to her. Gladys gets to see the Panthers kick off against the Washington football team on the 21st.
Yeah, we still have 2 more drawings. First, go to WFNYnews2.com. On the homepage, you'll see the story that says Play and Score Carolina Panthers tickets on WFNY News 2. You click on that story. Once you're in there, click on the link that says Play 2 tickets on 2 trivia here. There are 5 Panthers trivia questions there.
And what's nice about this, you can play as many times as you like. The more you play, the better your chances are to win. For this upcoming drawing, you have until 6:30 next Monday night to win tickets to the Panthers game against the Atlanta Falcons, and that's on December 12th.
Now, once trivia closes, you'll need to watch WFNY News 2 at 11 to see who wins. This is the third of 4 ticket giveaways, so you only have 1 more chance left to win. Log on to WFNYnews2.com and play Panthers trivia for your chance to win 2 tickets on 2.
So big news today, obviously, is what everybody was talking about.
Oh, yeah. The whole newsroom was exploding.
In fact, when
It blew
someone
up our
just
whole
said,
day, right?
someone said Cam's coming back, and you should have seen everybody just like stand up.
Everybody's like, what? Cam coming back? Y'all, I have to tell you really quick. When I was in college, my school, we played against Auburn, and I watched Cam Newton just fly past us. And I mean, even in college, he was a great player, Amanda. So I know a lot of people are happy to have him back.
Yeah, I think this is one of those moments in life where life hits you fast and can change in an instant, and this is an example of that. Who would have thought 2 years ago Cam Newton comes back as a Carolina Panther? But I think this is great for the organization and for Cam because they need somebody, and Cam has a lot to prove.
You're absolutely right. He has so much to prove. Like we were saying earlier, he was sitting on the couch pretty much the whole year waiting for an opportunity. So for him to be able to come back to Carolina in a situation where it's really no lose for him. I mean, because the Panthers haven't been playing that great. And if anything, he's just going to bring a fresh jolt of energy and just a whole new attitude to that locker room. And I can't wait to see what QB1 looks like on Sundays.
You know, Jalen, that's what Stephen Smith was saying earlier today, talking about this. He said, you know, Cam, he was 7-8 with the Patriots, 8 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. You know, not a great year. This is a chance for him to redeem himself, and at a place where the fans were still torn when they let him go the first go around, right? They didn't really, some people were like, I don't think I like this. So for him to come back into a place, not only, like Jalen said, just to get a job and get back on the field, but to come into a place where he's loved by a lot of people, that's a big thing.
And the Panthers' first home game with him on the roster will be against Ron Rivera's team. So if he gets the start against a Washington football team, what a story.
Wow. Well, let us know what you think about this big move. You can go ahead and weigh in our chat on Facebook.
All right, let's talk about our forecast to see what's happening with this. We've seen some changes lately, haven't we, with the outlook. And again, it looks like it's going to be one of those situations where our temperatures are going to dip a little bit in the next little bit. In fact, one of the overnight lows in our 7-day is flirting with that freezing mark. So we've got colder weather on the way, but we expect that, don't we? It's that time of the year. 63 in Winston-Salem right now, Greensboro 65, High Point at 66. By the way, I want to tell you, this is great. This is our Redbird 2 footage from Country Park. You can see the leaves, right? We're at peak right now in central North Carolina. Just beautiful. So when you see that, you expect these temperatures down to 59 in Mount Airy, 54 Galax. We've got to drop those temperatures a little bit, and that will happen, but it takes another day or so. 56 with rain likely heading into the night tonight. Take an umbrella if you have to head out anywhere. For tomorrow, it'll be 69 degrees for the high. It'll clear very quickly. We might have a leftover shower or two in the early morning hours, but not anything major after that. In fact, a quick clear. It'll be a little bit windy, though. That's probably the only issue. Here's what that front looks like. You can see that'll be pushing through. If you look at it on a surface chart, the cold front works its way through, and then we finally, and that, by the way, that's about 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. So you can see most of the rain is already through by then. And then as we head into your Friday evening and into Saturday, it's just a windy, clear condition, and our daytime highs will start to cool down a little bit. 7-day forecast. Tomorrow, 69 degrees, clearing, breezy. That'll be an early high temperature, and then we'll cool down. Sunshine Saturday, Sunday, mid to upper 50s. Coldest day Monday with 51 degrees. That low Monday night 33, and we'll warm back to the mid 60s again for Wednesday and Thursday.
Today is a day to say thanks and to show appreciation for service, sacrifice, and honor. It's Veterans Day, and many tributes are back in person, a year allowing the Triad's veteran-friendly community to pay respects, including at the Carolina Field of Honor. It is the largest veterans memorial on the East Coast outside of D.C. The ceremony began with the sound of patriotism. a drum corps, and the singing of the national anthem. A new plaque was presented for a local World War II veteran that survived being a prisoner of war for the Japanese.
We here at home have had peace, prosperity, and lived the American dream. We're proud of you and proud of how you continue the very rich, deep tradition of serving this amazing country.
2 Triad churches came together to build homes for heroes. The Permanent Housing for Homeless Veterans program helps veterans get safe and energy-efficient homes. It's yet another way to show our nation's veterans we're thankful for their service. Veteran Christopher Davis received a home back in 2018. He explains the importance of this project.
That's the kind of support that we veterans need, not just here, but across the country. It's a very good feeling. I gained when I was able to find a home, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be a very good feeling for the next veteran who was able to get this home for himself and his family. It's a feeling that you just can't describe.
Now, this project refers to multiple veteran organizations to see which veterans could benefit from the project. Restaurants around the Triad are saying thank you to our nation's heroes, and you can find freebies for veterans and active military members on our website by texting the word VETS to 336-379-5775. We'll send you a link right to your phone. We'll be right back. Former Labor Commissioner Sherry Berry's reign as elevator queen is over, and TikTokers want to know, who is that guy in the elevators now? His name is Josh Dobson. He's a new Labor Commissioner, and his face is popping up all across the state. For 20 years, North Carolinians shared an elevator ride with a familiar face, the so-called elevator queen, Sherry Berry. She's passed her crown on after not seeking re-election in 2020. Voters chose Josh Dobson to fill her shoes, but still, many riders want to know, who is he?
You see a picture on an elevator, but beyond that, I'm a pretty normal guy.
Born and raised in Western Carolina, Dobson is a true North Carolinian who loves his family, friends, country music, and sports.
My wife, Valerie, and daughter, Kennedy, keep me humble and keep me let me know where my priorities are.
After serving as a county commissioner in McDowell County and 4 terms in the state house, he was sworn in as labor commissioner in January. Former Commissioner Berry helped guide him through the ups and downs of this year.
She's just been great. She was helpful in any way that she could be.
He says while it's sometimes hard to follow in her footsteps, his experienced team keeps him on a successful track.
We have a lot of the same staff, particularly when it comes to our elevator inspectors, and our elevators in North Carolina will be safe.
As far as taking her title,
so are you now the elevator king?
That's taken on a life of its own on Twitter and Instagram and TikTok especially. So if that's how North Carolinians want to go with it, I'm game.
You know, I really enjoyed speaking to Commissioner Dobson. A lot of people are like, who is this guy? Kind of giving him a little bit of hate on TikTok, but let me tell you, he is great. He is going to make sure your elevators are safe. And as far as all the hoopla about him being the elevator king, he's like, if that's what they want, that's fine. But he wanted to highlight the workers that work in that department.
Such a nice guy.
Yeah, so sweet.
They need to lay off my guy. He just looks so cool and nice. I like how you said, I'm a regular guy. And like how you did the interview in the car. He just seems so nice and welcoming.
Well, and just, Sherry Berry, she was there for so long.
Right.
And
Sherry
everybody
Berry.
in the state would, the name was
Sherry
catchy.
Berry, I like
and you
that.
see the picture of her. I don't know how long she was in that position.
Over 20 years.
Was it over
Wow.
20? Yeah. So,
Yeah.
everywhere you went, you saw it. So people got used to it and she became a thing.
And it's nice that he said that she's been mentoring him and just really preparing him for this position.
Yeah, he's great. So trust me, your elevators are fine and safe. Or I guess trust him, not
That's
me.
right.
Trust him.
Give him a break.
He needs to do a TikTok on how they inspect the elevators. That's what we'll do. All right, we're coming back.
A group of service members were denied the Purple Heart, one of the nation's oldest and most sacred awards. More than 30 troops were injured during a ballistic attack in Iraq. The attack was the largest ballistic missile attack against American forces in U.S. history. The injuries troops sustained during the attack technically qualify them for the award. The attack was carried out by a hostile foreign force, but dozens of soldiers have not been honored with the reward and were denied the medical benefits that come with it. According to a letter, 56 soldiers were diagnosed with traumatic brain injuries and submitted for a Purple Heart, but only 23 were recognized.
Throughout my whole military career, I was always told that we take care of soldiers, we take care of soldiers above all else. And it shocks me that we have failed to do that in this situation.
A military spokesman said the evaluation for the Purple Heart is not a political process. A new review will be conducted for these Purple Heart awards. This just kind of breaks my heart. You know, our servicemen and women, they sacrifice so much, and if they're saying that this isn't a complex process, hopefully they can get them the reward and the benefits that they deserve.
And see, I don't know what the criteria are, how does that work, you know, with but it just doesn't seem right.
Doesn't.
On the
Yeah, it
surface.
really doesn't make sense.
And again, I'm not an expert, but it just, your first glance at this, you're like, I don't get it. You know?
Yeah, that was what was going through my head when you were reading this story, and you just, like you said, your heart kind of breaks for those people. I can't even imagine being somebody that's gone overseas and fought or even been in the military, and they all deserve the recognition.
And being a loved one, to see them not get this kind of recognition, and that was a large number. It was like more than half didn't get honored for this. It's just weird.
And I remember once I saw the video, I remember that attack. I remember 60 Minutes did a whole thing on it, and a lot of those guys, if it's the same one that I think it is, they knew the missiles were coming, they were warned, but they didn't have anywhere to go. But a certain number of these smaller shelters, some of them were forced to stay outside while those missiles were hitting. So if you were injured in that stressful situation where you know, I can't get in the shelter, I've got to just wait it out and hope it doesn't hit us, they deserve that, in my opinion.
Our hearts go out to those men and women.
We'll be right back. The late Maya Angelou shared so many great nuggets that many are still living by the words of this great American icon. But one in particular rings loud, reminding us that the wrong people can lead us down the wrong path in today's U-Day moment.
Maya Angelou said it absolutely perfect. When a person tells or shows you who they are, believe them. Now, we have that inward intuition of people, but tend to disregard our feelings because we want to give others the benefit of the doubt. However, that doubt screams loud when that mask comes off. Only time will expose true character. Escape from the grip of those who want to control you. We must learn never to hold a person beyond their set assignment in our lives. Now, remember this point. Some are for a season, some for a reason, and some for a lifetime. Let's stop placing reason and season people in permanent lifetime roles. Keep in mind you become who you surround yourself with, and you don't want to be a them to those in your life. This is Coach Lamont. Make today your best you day. I'll see you tomorrow.
Hello, ice cold milk and an Oreo cookie, they forever go together.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Eric Chilton here with Lauren Coleman and Stacy Spivey.
Yeah, thanks so much for watching. It is Friday Eve, y'all. We didn't say that earlier.
It is.
I just had to remind you that you're almost to the weekend.
That's right.
Yes.
FJ.
Yeah, we're almost there. Well, thanks for watching, and you can watch us, of course, on Fire Stick, Roku, our app, TV, phone, tablet, so many choices.
So many different ways, and today is also a day to say thank you. Lots of events happening across the Triad today in honor of Veterans Day. Hundreds of veterans were honored at more than 30 assisted living facilities owned and operated by AUTHORACARE Collective. The organization provides hospice and palliative care in Guilford and Alamance counties. I attended one of several pinning ceremonies earlier today.
American soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, and Coast Guardmen have bravely answered the call to defend our freedom.
An emotional morning at Abbott's Wood at Irving Park Retirement Community in Greensboro.
Served in the United States Army.
As dozens of veterans were honored for their years of service in the U.S. military. Among the crowd was 88-year-old Jim English, who served 2 years in the Army just after the Korean War.
I'm really from a military family. My dad was in World War I. My older brother was in World War II. where he received a couple of Purple Hearts, and then an older brother who was in the Korean War, and then I have another brother who was drafted about the same time as Al was.
Mr. Richard Sprague.
He says he feels proud to stand among his fellow residents who fought for their country.
Because there's a lot of guys here who have actually served in combat.
English is one of nearly 400 veterans being honored at more than 30 assisted living facilities operated by AUTHORACARE Collective. It's all a part of the We Honor Veterans program.
So we will be providing them with a certificate, thanking them for their service, an American flag lapel pin. Our chaplains will be visiting many of our facilities, calling out their names as part of the service, presenting them with a certificate and the American flag lapel pin.
Last year's event was canceled due to COVID-19. Organizer Kevin Pierce says he's grateful pinning ceremonies could resume this year.
We understand that oftentimes at end of life in particular, it can bring up some of the challenges that veterans faced early in their lives and in their career in the military.
For more information on veteran services offered by AUTHORACARE, just visit our website. So this was such a beautiful event. Lots of people out in the crowd today. There was one person being honored today that served in 4 different branches of the military, which I thought was really awesome. They had another veteran who is over 100 years old. I wasn't at that pinning ceremony, but it was nice to just hear some of the different stories from those out in the crowd.
And I like, one thing, I've said this before, I'll say it again, the best thing you can do for an elderly person is to listen to them.
Yes.
They have so many good stories to tell, and they need people to actually take time to listen. And so many people are in the big hurry and everything. You need to take a few minutes, sit down, let them tell their stories.
Yeah, and today's like today are pretty special to your family too, Lauren, right? Being a military family.
Yeah, I'm a military brat. My dad served 30 years in the Army, retired as a full board colonel, and I do have a lot of other family members in the military as well. My grandfather served. He was drafted after college, and so we have a lot of history in our family.
Was it did they run a tight ship? I'm just wondering if a military family at home that was very disciplined.
No playing around in the Coleman house. We were
bad.
soldiers. We were doing push-ups in the morning, make sure our beds were, tucked in properly, all that.
Yeah, I love it. It's so funny.
I heard Admiral with the Navy once say that the best thing you can do to start every day is to make your bed. And he explained why that sets the tone for the rest of the day. Everybody laughed at the beginning when he said that, but then he explained the depth behind that and how they use that in the military. And I thought, that's a pretty good idea, right? You know that all too well. She salutes. All right, a company in High Point, they actually work to hire mainly veterans. This is a cool story. High Point City Councilman Victor Jones is a 13-year Marine Corps veteran, now operating Royal Limousine. Jones said the job is great entry-level work for veterans that are trying to transition back into society after service.
When I came out and tried to re-enter the civilian world, I just felt different from everybody. Not lesser or anything like that. It's just nobody got me.
Jones says volunteering and involvement in the community can actually help veterans transition back into civilian life, but organizations should actively support veterans to help bring them in.
A new report shows there's a downward trend in teenagers working. According to Self Financial, North Carolina has the 14th lowest teen labor force participation rate, with around 160,000 teens employed in our state. Researchers believe it's because of several factors, including the pandemic, more pressure from school, and employers are offering fewer low-level positions that teens are qualified for. I asked you on my Facebook page, how old were you when you started working, and what was your first job? Mary says she was 15 and worked at the church daycare. She says her mom was her boss. Carol writes, Rose's department store was my first real outside job, but I babysat for the neighbors at 14. Jan started working at 14 too, cleaning tables at a local restaurant. Beth was 12. She says, my parents had an RV dealership. I worked there selling parts, supplies, and RVs. Scott worked tobacco fields in the summer in Wilson County when he was 15. Deborah, a car hop at 14. And Robert says, listen to this, guys. He was 14, caught chickens and loaded them on the flatbed semi. Now, I didn't catch any chickens, but I was dealing with little kids running around. I taught gymnastics and cheerleading.
Oh,
yeah,
did you?
yeah.
Okay.
I have a similar story. So my first job, I was 16. I was a summer school teacher's assistant for kindergarten. It was so much fun. They'd be like, Miss Lauren, Miss Lauren. They would make me little pictures and crafts. And for a quick second, I thought maybe I could be an elementary school teacher, but you know.
Yeah.
But no.
Yeah. I think the teaching gymnastics made me realize I couldn't.
Yeah.
I didn't have the patience for it.
Like herding cats.
Yeah.
That's what it is. My first job was working at a t-shirt shop in Chapel Hill when I was in college, and it was because I was involved in too many clubs in high school. My parents were like, no, we'd rather you keep doing this. But when I went to college, I started working, and that t-shirt shop is still there, Johnny T-shirt on Franklin Street. It's like the biggest one there. I would hand silkscreen t-shirts in their basement with a heater down there and no air conditioning. It was miserable. They don't do that anymore.
So that means you can design us a 4 to 5 t-shirt.
Oh, I should do that. Go back to the old days of doing that.
Sell us some logo.
We'll see. That was that, and then what I ended up doing for them was going around to sororities and fraternities in the Triangle. So I did NC State, Carolina, and Duke, and went around and sold frat wear and sorority wear to all those people. So it was great. That was fun. Sometimes the first jobs are some of the best. You know? They're fun. I do love my job, boss. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to silkscreen t-shirts in the basement anymore. I'm good. Let's take a look at the forecast. We've got to talk about temperatures changing a little bit. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. It's what we expect, right? I mean, it's that time of the year when we see temperatures get a little bit cooler. So looking at 56 for the overnight low. By the way, rain moving in as we speak. So we'll show you the radar in a minute. But there are scattered showers out and about. Keep the umbrella handy even into the night. Should clear out quickly. Maybe tomorrow morning an earlier leftover shower and 69. But then after that, it'll be windy and clear. You can see a lot of the rain working its way from the southwest back up to the north and northeast. So watch for that. And there's more behind it. There's the actual front that's all the way back into eastern Tennessee. That will reach us and pass us by tomorrow morning. And we think by midday, all that rain will be just a distant memory. And then it's windy and chilly, and we'll start to clear out for the weekend as we see those clearer conditions moving in. 56 with that rain tonight, and then here's your 7-day forecast with 69 tomorrow, but a quick cool down. 59 and 54, mostly sunny to partly cloudy for your weekend. Monday, a slight rain chance, and 51. That's the coolest day with a low of 33 Tuesday morning, and we bounce back to where we should be this time of year. Low to mid 60s for Wednesday and Thursday.
All right, I want you to look at this. It is a Norman Rockwell painting called Home for Thanksgiving. It's from 1945. It shows a World War II soldier and his proud and very thankful mom, both of them together. All right, in 1959, this American Legion post that you're looking at right now in Massachusetts opened up, and as a gift, someone gave them the Home for Thanksgiving painting. It hung on the wall for decades as part of the decor that celebrates and honors military service.
One day a gentleman came in and said, I'll offer you $500 for that painting. And that's at the moment we said, we better look into this. We brought it down to the Rockwell Museum, and they verified that it was an original.
Original! So all those years, they thought it was like some print that someone gave them or whatever, but it was an original.
What in the
So
world?
amazing.
How did that end up there? That's amazing.
That's funny that you mentioned that because a priest actually bought the original painting, and after he died, his family had donated it. Like, here, just take the stuff, right?
No big deal. Oh
well,
my
this
gosh.
original went up for auction and sold for $3.6 million.
Whoa.
Yes, can you imagine that it was right there in the building all those years?
And some guy said, here's $500, I'll take it.
Well, I mean, what did he know, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm. I mean, doesn't it make you think to yourself, what do my parents have in their house?
I was just about to say, like, maybe we want to double check some of our own paintings.
Right, okay. Now they say they're going to use the money to do all the projects they've been putting off, like new heating systems and all that kind of stuff, but I want you to think about it this way.
Anybody could have reached up and grabbed it and walked out the front door, and we would have never even probably missed it, to tell you the truth.
I hope that many people will have the opportunity to enjoy it, knowing that it's a Rockwell when we never did.
My goodness. All right, one more fun fact here. The people in the painting, they are real mom and son, and they got paid $15 an hour to sit there for the painting, but that translates to about like $200 today for an hour.
Not bad.
Not bad.
Yeah, I'd take that for someone to paint my family.
Yeah, right.
What's also interesting, Norman Rockwell always said, hey, since you sat for the painting, I'll give it to you. And she said, nah, no thanks.
Oh my gosh.
Can you imagine? All right, everybody go look in your attic and stuff like that right now. Happy Veterans Day.
Poinsettias, they are a Christmas staple, and with only 44 days left until Christmas, you'll want to get yours soon. But did you know that the largest greenhouse in the nation growing poinsettias is right here in North Carolina?
Massive is an understatement. We're talking millions of poinsettias just in time for the holiday season. 3 million poinsettias are ready to be shipped to stores all along the East Coast from Huntersville.
People are buying earlier, and so we actually started this week, which is a week earlier than we usually do for shipping poinsettias. So if you want to get them now.
Owners of the largest heated greenhouse in the U.S. says the controlled environment is a critical part of their operation.
Some of these poinsettias, we trick them a little bit. We'll put black cloth over them so that they turn on time, so when the retailers want them.
And they've seen a big growth spurt in the past 2 years, selling 75 million plants per year.
We think for the next 3 to 5 years, it'll grow even more. People have kind of taken a new transition to working from home, schooling from home, doing a lot of things from home, and when they do that, they beautify their home.
With 1,400 employees at 2 locations, Van Wingerden says they are still in need of more workers to meet demand. And then there are supply chain issues.
Everything you read about in the news impacting us as well. For the sleeves that go around poinsettias, the little decorative hats that go on poinsettias, all those things, we're making it through, but it's definitely stuff we used to get by October 1st, we're getting by November 10th now.
Still, he says the future is merry and bright, and consumers shouldn't expect a big jump in price for these poinsettias. All 3 million poinsettias will be gone in a matter of weeks, and they'll start planting for the busiest season of the year. That's spring. In Huntersville, I'm meteorologist KJ Jacobs, WCNC Charlotte.
Wow, I just got to say the camera work on this story was absolutely
Yes.
amazing.
Yes,
That place
yeah.
is beautiful.
And it looked almost like it was fake, that it was so long.
Yes.
It was
Just like a sea of red.
Yes.
So pretty.
Beautiful.
Okay, but like the big debate here. How do you say this? Because when I keep hearing them say poinsettia, I'm like, oh, am I saying it
Yes,
wrong?
when I tossed to the story and I heard him, I was like,
Yep.
did I say it incorrect like my whole life?
I have looked into this before because we get into this every now and again this time of the year, and the best I remember is that either way is acceptable. But I
Okay.
think you maybe, Lauren said during that story, because I think
Maybe that's
with the original
the
way.
original way or something.
I think it might have been, but I always said poinsettia growing up. But
Same here.
Southerners tend to shorten,
We
and
do.
you know how we always do, and I think that might be what we have done to the word. I don't know, but either is accepted.
I can't believe Christmas is 44 days away.
Oh my
so,
God. Oh,
yeah,
have you
look at
guys
the
done
clock.
your Christmas shopping yet?
Part of it.
You know I haven't, so
Yeah, me
I've already
either.
said that I'm a last minute shopper.
I'm
Yeah.
worried because I buy a lot online. And
Yeah, you better
I'm
get it
worried-
done.
I'm worried about it getting here.
Time's a
Yeah,
ticking.
I have, I think, half of it done.
Do you? Wow, that's good.
You're just
I'm so
always-
proud of myself. I'm typically not like this,
Oh,
but
okay.
I'm like on top of it this year because last year I was not. So I learned my lesson.
Yeah, now she's moved on to a better place. We're coming right back. Stay there. All right, I was thrilled. I found out today is National Ice Cream Sundae Day because I love ice cream sundae. So apparently you felt the same way because I put this question on Facebook and it lit up here. I said, what are your favorite toppings for ice cream sundaes? Here's what you had to say. Mary said, strawberry, nuts, pineapple, and lots of whipped cream. Ooh, pineapple, I like that. Amy Burton says hot fudge, whipped cream, wet walnuts, and a cherry. Wanda says hot fudge and lots of whipped cream. Justin, well, I'm seeing a theme here, aren't we? Justin says hot fudge, wet nuts, whipped cream, Spanish peanuts, and a cherry on top. And then Janet Atkins said caramel, wet nuts, Cool Whip on there. That's probably my favorite too as well. And then Glenda just went back to the basics, just chocolate syrup. Chocolate syrup on the vanilla ice cream. I like all of it.
I like all of it as well. I love anything with peanut butter and chocolate in it, or anything that has like cookie dough, brownie, or birthday cake. Yeah, the crumble who is it? Cold Stone, they have like the birthday cake remix.
Yes,
oh,
that's my favorite one.
That is so good. I have to say, I'm pretty simple. I like just sprinkles sometimes.
Aww.
I don't know why. They're pretty, I guess, and you just add a little sprinkle to it.
That's fun. I mean, with ice cream sundae stuff, I like caramel or butterscotch, like syrup or whatever that's called. And then whipped cream and the wet walnuts. That's my favorite, those three.
I also like the ice cream sandwiches. Those are really,
plain,
really
or
good.
you like
just
the ones?
Plain, or if it might have a little bit of cookies and cream in the center of it, but I like a nice ice cream sandwich.
What are the ones, there's an ice cream sandwich that has like a light brown, you know what I'm talking, so like the black part of the ice cream sandwich, like the sandwich part, there's ice cream in the middle, but on the top it's like a light brown, almost like a graham cracker, and then the ice cream in the middle is strawberry.
You look confused, Stacey.
I
am very confused.
Well, just the outside things, the little like, I can't say crackers, they're not crackers, but the outside
the
of the
cone
ice cream
part.
sandwich. What? What did she call it? That's right. Tasha, our producer, just said it's called a shortcake. That's right. So it's strawberry ice cream, but you know what I'm talking about?
Are you talking about the strawberry shortcakes?
Yeah, but it looks like an ice cream sandwich.
I'm gonna have to try this
out because I love the strawberry shortcake. I forgot about that. That's the one I always get from the ice cream man when he comes around.
That's right. All right, I'm Googling this to find out what it's called.
My mouth is watering.
That's right.
That sounds really good. Well, let's go to the movies. It's something so many of us are excited to say after not being able to for over a year. If you're not feeling like leaving the house this weekend, The Harder They Fall is streaming on Netflix. WFMY News 2's photojournalist Manning Franks reviews the movie for you too.
You have no idea how much I wanted to wear a cowboy hat for this review in particular. It's not every day a stylish Western moseys on into town ready to quick draw the competition. You can imagine my surprise when The Harder They Fall comes out on Netflix and it leaves me dead to rights.
I heard Rufus Buck was back.
This ain't no road to ask a friend to travel.
You think Destiny's coming to you?
My guns go back.
Outlaw Nat Love, played by Jonathan Majors, has been on a quest of revenge since he was a young boy after the brutal murder of his mother and father at the hands of the malicious Rufus Buck, played by Idris Elba. Now, years later, Buck gets out of prison, and Love must round up his gang to finally finish what he started years ago. However, Love isn't the only one with a posse. Buck is ready with his crew, and it's only a matter of time before a good old-fashioned shootout transpires. Drawing on a lot of classic Western elements but remaining distinctly stylized in its approach, The Harder They Fall teeters on this fine line between classic and modern sensibilities by leaning into the revisionist Western in its entirety. This film is not asking to be anything more than what you see on screen. It embraces its roots, while injecting a flash of excitement, especially that third act, pure, unadulterated fun. That said, this straightforward nature of this film could lead you wanting more, as its bare-bones script sometimes feels like it's going through the motions, almost being one note on occasion. Yet the heart of the film shines brightest when it lets its cast find their rhythm as an ensemble. Jonathan Majors, Regina King, Idris Elba, and more lead a star-studded cast that brings their all, even when the script cannot. In addition, by casting black stars in these roles about these real gunslingers, the film provides much-needed representation in a genre that has left people of color behind far too often. Sometimes a Friday night streaming with friends or family is all you need. And if you go into The Harder They Fall with the mentality, I'm going to have fun with this Western, I'd say you're in for a real treat, partner. I'm giving The Harder They Fall a News 2 approved. You can find it streaming on Netflix and a few select theaters.
Okay, you
Manning
have to
knows so
like
much
this.
more about all this stuff than we do, and then
Yeah.
like he does all these, the film analysis, and I'm just going, I like cowboy movies. I think I will like this one.
Well, I think you're gonna have to like this. I mean, look at this cast.
Great
There's so
cast,
many great actors. I mean,
Idris is in it, so I'm sold.
And Regina King, she's amazing.
Yes, she is.
She's gorgeous and she's so talented.
So I asked Manning about this earlier, and I said, is this a true story? And he said the people in it actually lived. They were real people, but the story was fictitious, made up around those people. So it's interesting. It's a little bit of history in it as well.
It's so awesome that all these streaming services like Netflix are making all these series and all these movies that are just as good, if not better, than a lot of the movies that are coming out in theaters. So we really don't need to leave our homes to have a good time watching, some of the flicks that we like to see.
Yeah, I have a hard time because I love going to the theater. I just love the atmosphere of the
I do too.
popcorn and
Yeah.
everything, but it is much easier to stay at home and watch something.
And cheaper.
Oh yeah.
Because
Very
if you get a
cheap.
drink and a popcorn and a
yeah.
ticket, it's like $100
Right.
bucks by the time
Seriously,
you
though.
leave.
And that's just for the popcorn. They charge you so much. This is just an argument for me to get a 75 to 80 inch TV at the house, and I'll tell Leslie.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
that's
just
why.
tell Leslie that. Yeah, see,
Yeah, that'll work, won't it?
see how that goes.
That will not work. All right, my 2 cents is coming up. We're talking about Cam Newton. Stick around.
One, two, three, four, 5, 6, 7, 8.
See if I'm.
Hi, Kelly. Hi. I don't. Need a little boxy box. Hi, mic check 1, 2, 3.
Hi, ice cold milk and an Oreo cookie. They forever.
Oh, is Tim here for 2 cents? Yes. Hey, I'm not at touch up first.
Mic check Jalen, mic check Jalen.
Hey, we're doing a mic check here. We're 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2.
Two. Check, check, 1, 2, 3. Let's talk about NFL trades, shall we? Some NFL trades baffle you, some shock you. The news of Cam Newton's return may do a little of both for us. Watching social media today, the fans all over the place with this news today. They seem to be really in two camps here. One says this puts the team in what they're calling quarterback purgatory. Is he better than what we have? Probably. Is it good enough to get the Panthers deep into the playoffs? Some say maybe not. Now, some are saying that we should go with what we have and then just have the season turn out the way it is and get better draft picks for next season. The other camp says, hey, he brings life back to Bank of America Stadium and he has the ability to get a team really fired up. We know that. He is overflowing with confidence and personality. Now with the Patriots, he was 7-8, 8 TDs, 10 interceptions, not great, but you can say this, love him or hate him, he's a motivator and he brings emotion. If anyone could, and I said could, bring fire back to the stadium and to this team, it is Cam Newton. Just the news of this shocking hire is enough to get the spark back with the Panthers because it was all over social media. Now, I'll reserve judgment till I see a few games with Cam under center, but I can guarantee you one thing. My #1 jersey will be coming out of the box in a few weeks. But that's just my 2 cents. That's your 4 to 5. WFMY News 2 at 5 starts now.
Oh, it is happening. Superman returning. The Carolina Panthers are bringing back Cam Newton. It is a homecoming for the quarterback. He was a Panther from 2011 to 2019.
And during that time, he helped bring the Cats to Super Bowl 50 against Denver, and he's also known for his fashion.